So, of course, folks, do your best to be on time if you can. That would help all of us. And anyway, my name is Mark. I'm your host. Very excited about the training we're going to be providing with everyone today. The first thing we're going to talk about, ladies and gentlemen, is the power of the crowd. We're going to talk about community wealth building. So, I heard, in fact, I read in Proverbs, it said, with all you get, it said, get wisdom, but with all you're getting, get understanding. So what I'm going to do right now is give you the big picture so you can understand what we're doing, why we're doing it, how we're doing it, why it's so successful, and why it's absolutely the right thing to do right now in this day and age with all the things that are going on in the world. So we're going to talk about community wealth building. I'm going to break it down for you. And then we're going to go into the compensation plan. We're going to break it down. We're going to answer questions. And this is a training, so this is a Q&A situation, ladies and gentlemen. And so after each segment, we're going to give you the opportunity to ask your questions. So if you have any questions about any of the topics that we are talking about today, you absolutely are going to want to ask those questions, ladies and gentlemen. You'll be able to type them in the chat box. Sometimes you'll actually even be able to speak out and ask your questions as well. All right. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to get started. So we're going to start off our training today talking about a concept called community wealth building in the internet age. If you can wrap your mind about the information I'm about to share with you, it's going to enable you to be much more effective in what we're doing and understand the big picture, ladies and gentlemen. So my name is Mark Hamlin. Some of you know me, some of you don't. I've been involved in this concept called community wealth building for over 10 years, ladies and gentlemen. It started back at the end of the last recession, and about 2008, we're all familiar with that. By 2011, I was in the construction business. By 2011, I was facing foreclosure. We had fallen behind on our mortgage for over 1 year, and we got a foreclosure notice. I didn't know what to do. I was panicked, and it was a tough situation. But I found out about a concept called crowdfunding, ladies and gentlemen. This is what we're going to be talking about today. And that concept enabled my family and I to get out of the hole we were in within 90 days to save our house, the very same house that we're living in to this very same day. From that point on, I took it upon myself to travel around the world and to share this concept with people across the United States and around the world. It has absolutely changed my life. But here's the thing I want you to understand. There is always a better way of doing things. It's called innovation, ladies and gentlemen. And so now, why community wealth building anyway? Okay, why would people even consider coming together to build wealth together? Well, here's the reason. Wealth inequality around the world, ladies and gentlemen. In fact, globally, the top 8% control 82% of the wealth. And it's kind of interesting. Here's a little diagram. It's called the global wealth pyramid. And you can see here that the wealth is concentrated at the top few, and everybody else has to struggle to make ends meet to take care of their families. Now, I want to talk about pyramid for a moment. All right, so many people talk, when they hear the word pyramid, they think of so many negative things, but they don't understand that the entire global financial market is a pyramid. Here it is right in front of you. Your job is a pyramid, okay? Everything is a pyramid, ladies and gentlemen. And so, but when we come together in support of one another, it takes on a negative connotation. And what you need to understand is that most people, when they think about pyramids, they think that the guy at the top is making all the money. But you have to understand, with what we do here, it's not about when you start, it's about what you do after you start. The person and the individuals who are most effective in growing their community, they're the ones who benefit the most. And that opportunity is available to everyone. While we're talking about the word pyramid, we need to also talk about the word Ponzi. Most people don't even know what a Ponzi is. A Ponzi is an investment scheme where they promise you a certain return, but they use the money from the newcomers to pay the old comers. Are you with me? It's absolutely illegal. It has nothing to do with what we do. This is absolutely crowdfunding. And if you don't understand that, hold on. In this presentation, we're going to break it down for you. Now, when you start talking about wealth inequality, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about the United States. Most people think that the United States is the wealthiest country in the world, when right now it actually is not. But most people think we are. But even in the United States, you have wealth inequality. And you can see it here based on ethnic groups. Some communities are absolutely struggling, but it's not just the United States, ladies and gentlemen. It's all around the world. When you look at this image that I'm providing for you, the countries in black, they are actually the poorest countries in the world. And of course, you see Africa, the Middle East, in Asia, there's certain parts of Europe, definitely certain parts of South America. All right, everything in red, people are struggling. Now, the highest wealth is in Monaco. The poorest wealth per family is in the Republic of Congo. And so here's another image here, and all these things I pulled right off the internet, Google and Wikipedia, ladies and gentlemen. And what you can see here is that uh, this is a list of 78 countries around the world. And what you will see is that the bottom 40 countries, people don't even earn $1,000 a month, ladies and gentlemen. How can you take care of your family with less than $1,000 a month, accomplish your goals and live out your dreams? All right. And of course, the poorest country in the world has an income of $43 a month, ladies and gentlemen. Can you imagine trying to take care of a family with so little money? So this is why we need community wealth building. But let's talk about it in a bit more detail. So now, here's the interesting thing, ladies and gentlemen. People are wealthy, but don't know it. We actually have the wealth collectively, but we don't know it. And see, here's the reason I know that we're wealthy right now is because collectively we support successful businesses, we support governments, and we support organizations. So businesses are successful because of the customers that support them. Governments are successful because of the citizens that support them. And organizations and nonprofits are successful because of the supporters that support them. What does that tell you? The people have the money, but they don't even know it. The problem is we support everybody else except for ourselves. What would happen if we came together in support of one another? What would happen if the funding, 100% of the funding stayed within our community and it supported us? All right, let me tell you what happened. Poverty could end. Dreams could be accomplished. Are you with me? This is what people need to understand. We're wealthy right now, but we don't know it. And it's because we have not learned how to leverage our wealth, our connections, and our relationships in order to power one another. This is what we're talking about today. Now, this concept is not new. It's actually very old. It goes back to something called Rotating Savings and Credit Association. It's better known as ROSCA. You can Google it. This is where a group of people come together and they form literally their own bank. It's called peer-to-peer banking. Now, the thing you need to understand about this is that it has names in every major country around the world, and people have been doing it throughout history. In Latin America, it's called tandas. In Swahili-speaking East Africa, it's called chama. In Pakistan, it's called kumeti. Are you with me? In Mexico, it's called candinas. And you can see the names all around the world. Now, the name that most people know when they think about concepts like this is the name Susu. All right, but you need to understand a Susu is a form of a rotating savings and credit association. It is simply people coming together and supporting one another when they could not depend on the governments or the banks. They recognized that they could depend on one another. Isn't that a novel idea? So now, here's the thing you need to understand. Years ago, we've done all kinds of things. We've done gifting, all right? We've done Susu and all these things. All these things now fall under the heading of crowdfunding, ladies and gentlemen. They are absolutely all legal. Why? Because crowdfunding is the practice of funding a project or venture by raising small amounts of money from a large number of people, typically via the internet. Crowdfunding is a form of crowdsourcing and alternative financing. In 2015 alone, ladies and gentlemen, over $34 billion was raised worldwide through crowdfunding. Crowdfunding is legal all around the world. It's completely legal to give money to support someone or to support businesses, ladies and gentlemen, even if you don't get a product in return. This is what you need to understand. So this was signed into law through the Jobs Act on April the 5th, 2012, by Barack Obama. This was in direct response to the recession, the 2008 recession, ladies and gentlemen, because the banks weren't loaning money, businesses were struggling, and there needed to be a way for businesses to get the funding they need to accomplish their goals. And so now businesses could go to the general public and raise contributions from them. It became legal, and this is why you have websites such as GoFundMe, because not only can businesses do it, ladies and gentlemen, individuals can do it like you and I. So when people look at what we do and they don't get it, it's because they don't understand what we're doing. And that's why they are being left behind. But all of us, ladies and gentlemen, we get it. That's why we're here, and we are on a mission to empower as many people as possible. Now, here's the thing you need to understand. There's always a better way of doing things. And one of the best things that has happened for community wealth building is cryptocurrency, ladies and gentlemen. So what is cryptocurrency? It's a digital asset designed to work as a medium of exchange wherein individual coin ownerships are recorded and stored in a ledger, existing in the form of a computerized database or strong cryptography to secure the transactions, to control the creation of additional coins, and to verify the transfer of ownership. What does this mean? This is a way now that we can support one another literally around the world without total dependence on the banks, the visas, and the payment processors that want to take a chunk of our hard-earned money just so that we can transfer money from place to place. So cryptocurrency, ladies and gentlemen, is one of the essential pieces that enables us to literally build communities that literally wrap around the world, and the funding potential is absolutely unprecedented. Our parents couldn't even dream of doing what we have the ability to do right now. Now, of course, the number one cryptocurrency is Bitcoin. We talk about it in detail, ladies and gentlemen. Bitcoin is cryptocurrency, but here's the thing you need to understand. It's the most profitable currency ever created in the history of mankind. It has created more millionaires than anything that you could probably even think of right now. It's not controlled by the banks or any central authority. It's completely decentralized, which gives us the ability to do something and to build wealth and be independent of the establishment, so to speak. So this is significant. This is where we are right now, and we are leveraging it, and we are earning it, ladies and gentlemen. So now, the next piece you need to understand is called the smart contract. As we mentioned earlier, there's always a better way of doing things. The smart contract is computer protocol. Traditionally, when parties came together to do something, they would have to sign a contract. It would have to be approved or confirmed by a third party before it was actually executed. But because you have people in the middle, things can happen sometimes, and sometimes it doesn't go the way it's supposed to. Well, when you start dealing with smart contracts, you're talking about computer protocol now. If this happens, then that must happen. Because it's written in code and the code cannot be changed, we know that the entire process is fair, ladies and gentlemen. It's transparent, and it is also trackable. So a smart contract is a computer program or a transaction protocol which is intended to automatically execute, control, and document legally relevant events and actions according to the terms of a contract or an agreement. The objective of smart contracts are the reduction of need in trusted intermediaries, arbitration and enforcement costs, and also the elimination of fraud. This is the next level of doing business, ladies and gentlemen. It is called the smart contract, and it has taken the world by storm. And so what we do here, we leverage everything that a smart contract, the benefits of smart contracts, but we have eliminated the negatives of smart contract. We created something better. We call it a smarter contract, ladies and gentlemen. Now, when you combine all of these technologies, ladies and gentlemen, you now create something that never existed before, that gives us the ability to accomplish goals that we may not have been able to do before, but at a level and a speed that we couldn't do in the past. So now, here's the thing you need to understand. When it comes to community wealth building, you have to understand how it really works. All right? So how can communities empower themselves? Well, they can leverage their talents and their resources. You know, maybe you've heard of Habitat for Humanity. So Habitat for Humanity created a concept where you would contribute a certain amount of hours, community service hours, and you would literally go and work on helping someone else get their house together. And then when the time is right, everyone would come over and help you build your house. All right? Very good concept. But here's the thing you need to understand. They didn't create that concept, ladies and gentlemen. That's a very old concept that communities have been using for many years. They use it to build barns, and they also use it to build houses. But you have to understand how it worked. The way it worked is that you would lend your time and your talent within the community to help build someone else's house, even if all you could do was lift lumber, if you could clean, or if you could cook. You see those young ladies in white, they were cooks. All right? As long as everybody did something, ladies and gentlemen, that's the leverage, and that's where the power was. So you lend your time helping someone else, and then everyone would come over and help you build your house. Okay? This is what you have to understand about community wealth building. It's about everyone participating. And that's where the growth becomes. Everybody doing something. Just like Qtrex. Everyone participates. When everyone does their part, this is what you need to understand. The funding explodes, the contributions explode, and people's lives change. All right? That is the key. All right? So we talked about it. When you begin to talk about community crowdfunding and building a community, we have a concept we call 3x3. What is that? You join our community, and everybody brings in 3 active partners, 3 partners who understand what we're doing. We're working together. Everybody do their part. What's their part? Grow the community. How do you do that? Share your success. Invite people to see what we're doing. It's the easiest work in the world. And as people see what we're doing, they like what we're doing, they participate, our community grows, and the funding explodes. So who can these partners be? Anybody with a goal. The head of a household, a business partner, a family member. It could be a group or organization. It could just be a family. It could be a group. It could be an organization. Anybody or any group that wants to empower themselves economically can join us and do something amazing. The thing you have to understand is that every house has a foundation that supports that house. But we're talking about a financial foundation right now. And your 3 partners are going to be the beginning of your financial foundation that could eventually lead to you building a financial skyscraper, ladies and gentlemen. Does this make sense to anybody? If this makes sense to you, ladies and gentlemen, then you're absolutely in the right place. This is why we have the ability to help people all around the world, because we're doing the right thing with the right technology, and the timing could not be better. So that's all I have to say, ladies and gentlemen, about this concept. If you're here for the first time and you haven't seen the overview, just get in contact with the person who invited you. They'll share that with you. Qtrex is all about empowering people through life-changing Bitcoin technology. That's exactly what we're doing right now, and we are breaking records. All right. So let's get a few comments about some of the information that I have shared with you thus far. And what I want to do here is I'm just going to unmute a couple of the leaders here, and so we can get some comments here. And of course, we still have people joining us and logging in every few minutes. But give me 1 minute here, and I want to unmute a couple of our leaders just to share a few things. And first person I want to unmute is going to be Carlos. And Carlos, you are unmuted, sir. And just wanted to get your thoughts. What do you think about community wealth building? And can you see how it really is the foundation of everything that we are doing right here? All right, so let me try to unmute you again. All right, you're unmuted,
Yeah,
sir.
Mark.
How are you?
Great. Can you hear me?
Yes, I do.
Incredible training, Mark. I mean, first and foremost, the timing couldn't be more perfect. We know where the world is today. We know there's a lot of people out there, business owners, family-owned businesses, professionals. It doesn't matter what level you're at. They're being impacted in a negative way with the things that are going on globally. And now with this platform, Qtrex, it is a solution. It is an amazing solution with a traditional concept that's been going on for generations. But the difference now is that innovation has made it even more possible and more convenient and globally. Incredible training, Mark. Very informative and straight to the point.
All right, thank you so much. I appreciate you, Carlos. All right, let's go ahead and unmute another leader here. And if you like what you heard, you want to raise your hand, you want to comment, you have the opportunity to do so. So what I wanted to do this morning was really share with you the big picture, ladies and gentlemen. You can stand back and see, here's the thing that people miss. They don't understand. We have the wealth, ladies and gentlemen. No one else, no organization, no group can be successful without us. We just haven't learned how to leverage it in order to support one another. But a lot of groups have learned how to do that, ladies and gentlemen. And we've got the ability to do that at a level that never existed before. And we are accumulating Bitcoin, the most profitable currency in the history of the world, ladies and gentlemen. It's so many benefits to what we're doing. It's amazing. It's amazing. So hopefully this training has helped you. This training came from 10 years of experience, ladies and gentlemen. And let's go ahead and unmute Earl. And Earl, you're unmuted, sir. And you should be able to unmute yourself, Earl. Welcome to the call.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Mark. How you doing? Can you hear me?
Yes, doing well.
Yeah. Thank you, Mark. So, guys, I'm really, really excited about the idea of crowdfunding. You know, I locked arms with Mark a couple of years ago. He's a crowdfunding consultant as well as myself. I believe in the concept. I teach every day that money don't move without people, and just like you saw in the presentation, the wealth is already in our hands. Governments around the world depends on our dollar in order to build their wealth. Okay, so now with this crowdfunding platform, you know, I'm really excited about the idea of bringing together cryptocurrency, blockchain, smart contract technology, information you saw a few minutes ago with Mark, showing the president of the United States an equity crowdfunding, and he ratified it in 2012 and 13. It opened up a door for us to get free. And the idea now having a smart contract that don't depend on government entities, it depends on people. And every word in that smart contract is based on trust. The computer software will make sure that the funding goes to exactly where it's supposed to go to. It's written in the contract. The trust is built into the contract. Guys, we have a great opportunity, okay, to be on top of this. Last thing I want to say is this. Bitcoin is the goal of the blockchain. There will never, ever be more than 21 million Bitcoin created or mined. Of that 21 million, 1/3 of all Bitcoin is already lost. 1/3 in wallets. That means in the circulating supply of 14 million when it's said and done, you have an opportunity through Qtrex, this crowdfunding blockchain and smart contract technology will allow you to people mine. That means accumulate people, accumulating Bitcoin to come together in a crowdfunding environment. You can accumulate millions of dollars in Bitcoin to people mining through this smart contract. I want to thank you, Mark, for giving me opportunity and others around the world for accumulating a portion of that 14 million Bitcoin that the world is going to want to have access to. Thank you, Mark. Look forward to seeing you on the next seminar. Thank you.
All right, great. Appreciate you all. Thank you so much. All right. So if you have a question concerning about the information that I just shared with you, community wealth building, you can go ahead and type that question in the chat box. And if there are no questions, we're going to move on and we're going to talk about our very dynamic and powerful life-changing compensation plan. So there are no plans to have a residual component in the comp plan. You have to understand how the comp plan works. It actually does have a component in there. It's based on community activity. So, so this is different. And as people participate, it provides recurring income for you. So you just have to understand how it works. Very good. Excellent. And thank you, Carrie. Carrie says, powerful training. Thank you. This will change my life and a blessing to all of those who see this as well. Awesome. All right. So this is the type of training that we're going to have for you, ladies and gentlemen. Cutting edge training, life-changing. We've got so many great leaders. You'll be hearing from many of them as we move forward. And so we just want to continue what we have started here. All right, so what I'm going to do here, I'm going to stop my screen here for a moment, and I'm going to switch over to another PowerPoint. So let's go ahead and talk a bit about the compensation model here. So bear with me 1 second here. Let's go over here. All right. So I'm going to, we're not going to do a complete presentation because we do that many times throughout the week, but I am going to come down here and we are going to discuss how the money works with our platform, okay? So before I get into that, and since I am going to talk about that, I am going to read this disclaimer for anyone who's here who has not been here before. So ladies and gentlemen, this webinar is provided for general information purposes only and does not constitute legal or professional advice. All content shared here is subject to change based on real-time world events affecting the cryptocurrency marketplace, which has shown to be volatile and changes can occur on a day-to-day basis. The information presented here is for purposes of illustration only, and we accept no liability for the market changes that are beyond our control. It is the viewer's responsibility, that's you, to keep current with the cryptocurrency marketplace in terms of any changes that could be relevant to one's personal circumstances. It's important to know, ladies and gentlemen, that Qtrex absolutely is not an investment platform. Qtrex does not and do not sell or market securities. Qtrex offers a global platform only with the intention of empowering others regarding the cryptocurrency marketplace, particularly Bitcoin. Your success depends on your skills, your work ethic, your work effort, ladies and gentlemen, and marketplace conditions. Qtrex developers and its global affiliates do not guarantee any level of income or success. Qtrex platform offers opportunity and compensation plan for the people and by the people. All right, so with that said, everyone knows you can get started with Qtrex. All you need is $88. All right, that's $50 for the first level and $33 for the admin fee. The admin fee at $33 is just about $1 a day. You know, I was in the construction business, ladies and gentlemen. The overhead and the expenses were enormous. So the cost of doing business here is $1 a day. It's so minimal, it's ridiculous, right? Especially when you consider the upside. All right, so don't get caught up on that. All right, and also when you join, you can join with as little as $50 and also as much as 100,000 in Bitcoin with unlimited income potential. All right. So now, as we mentioned, there's absolutely no cap to your earning potential. The only thing capping your earning potential is you, ladies and gentlemen. The only thing stopping you from being successful is you, ladies and gentlemen. So the capital here is your time, your intention, your focus, your diligence, and your follow through. That's the capital here, all right? So Qtrex super aggressive compensation plan unlocks the doors of nonstop potential and possibilities with absolutely no cap or limitation, or how often or how much you can earn direct to your Bitcoin wallet in seconds. So you're gonna set up your wallet. All of the contributions go instantly into your wallet, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so we have multiple packages. Now these packages actually represent contributions that you're making toward our community. All right, it starts off at $50 in Bitcoin. And of course, it works its way all the way up to $100,000 in Bitcoin. What you need to understand is that 100% of these contributions stay within our community. The wealthiest communities in the world, they practice something very specific. They do business with one another. This Qtrex facilitates that in a way that we have never seen before. Not only do we keep 100% of the money in our community, we are accumulating the best currency in the world, which is Bitcoin. Okay, and as I mentioned, there is a monthly maintenance fee of $33. That pays for everything. You have to understand that the developers are not in the community. They don't benefit from the money that's being contributed here. So they have to pay for things. How do they pay for it? They pay for it out of the very low maintenance fee of $33 a month. I just call it $1 a day. All right, so now here's what's so dynamic. When a person joins our community, 100% of that contribution is distributed within the community. Half of it is going to go into what we call the upper queue, and the other half is going to go into the lower queue. Both are paid out simultaneously. All right. When you contribute and you upgrade within the 13 levels that we have, 13 packages, you only have to do it one time. And it qualifies you to receive contributions over and over again at those levels. And you can do it out of your proceeds. Okay. Now, this is going to give you and I instant direct payments till infinity for life, nonstop, over and over again. Now, this is exciting what I'm about to share with you right now. This system automatically instantly places 50% in your upper queue, which is what we call the unit level, that's the straight line, when your personal referrals upgrade, even if you are not upgraded. So you can come in here and you can make that $50 contribution, pay your $33 admin fee, $88, and then you can go out here and refer someone who comes in with $1,000, and you can receive all of that, those commissions that are associated with that, and those contributions that are associated with that. We're going to show that to you, even though you just came in with $50 and your admin fee. All right. So this is record breaking right here. Now, also, we have the other 50% is going to go into the lower queue. That's the 1x3 perpetual matrix. Now, in order to qualify for this, you need to upgrade. All right. So you need to contribute to those levels in order to receive at these levels. But in the upper queue, you're already pre-qualified. And so when you refer others, you are literally being rewarded because you did the work in introducing them to what we do here. All right. So now what I want to do in this example, I want to use the $1,000 Q7 package as an example, just to give you an idea of how the money works, right? Let's get into that. So first of all, we have the upper queue. The upper queue is nothing but a straight line. They call it a unit level. It's just a straight line. And when a person comes in here, the contributions are paid out. So in this case, at the $1,000 level, $500 is going to be paid out in the upper queue. The other $500 is going to be paid in the lower queue. All right. So now in the upper queue, you're already pre-qualified here. Even if you came in with just $50, you're qualified here. That means you bring someone in to come in and upgrades to this $1,000 level, you will receive $500 just that fast, even though you only contributed $50. All right. But you brought the person in. That's the benefit. All right. The next person that you bring in, guess what? They come in at this level. That's another $500 for you. The third person that comes in, this is what we call the pass up. Now, you don't lose the sponsorship, but the contribution is going to go to your sponsor. They're rewarded for bringing you in and training you. But the next several people, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, those contributions go to you. And the 10th person that you bring in, that's the pass up. You keep the person, but the $500 goes to your sponsor. Now, here's the great thing. After that, there are no more pass ups. All right. So you just have these 2 pass ups. Just keep in mind that the people you refer are also going to be passing up their 3rd and their 10th as well moving forward. Okay. So that's the upper queue. Now let's talk about the lower queue. Now keep in mind that you can only benefit in the lower queue from your chosen level packages of participation. In other words, you must be upgraded to benefit in the lower queue. Now, you can join any and all the packages right from the beginning, but you must join the lower packages in order to receive from the higher packages. You have to work your way up, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? So now let's look at the lower queue. So we're going to say that you're qualified here, that you have contributed at this level so that you're qualified to receive donations at this level. Okay? So the first person that you invite here, guess what? That $500 goes to you in the lower queue, paid instantly direct into your wallet in Bitcoin. The second person, that $500 goes to you. The third person, this is the pass up. You keep the sponsorship, but the contribution goes to your sponsor. This is what we call a 1x3 cycler. It repeats itself over and over again. It's based on the activity of the community. All right. As people invite others, as you invite others, that's what causes this to happen. In this case, we're looking at your invitations. All right. And that's going to repeat. It's going to enable you to do this over and over again as the community grows. Now, remember, both parts of the program operate and pays out at the same time. So if you're looking at the Q7 $1,000 level, the first person you invite, you're going to receive $500 in the upper queue. And that person is also going to show up and pay you in your lower queue. It's the same person. You're getting $500 down here as well. So if this was the only level that you came in at, guess what? You just received all your money back. You're completely whole. You have no risk of loss. All right. So this is what you need to understand. So we don't invest in Forex. We don't invest in cryptocurrency or anything like that. We're not trading here. But what we're doing is we're building a community. All right. So once you participate and you begin to refer one person who comes in at the same level as you did, you've gotten back everything. You've gotten back everything you put in. You have no risk of loss. The only thing that would stop you from not participating and being successful here is your inactivity. That's it. Your inactivity. It's your activity that's going to bring the results, and it can change your life. And it has done so for many, many people. Okay. So the second person you bring in who comes in at this level, we're going to say you're qualified for everything. That's another $500. And that person is contributing to you in the upper queue. That same person is contributing to you in the lower queue. Now you're 100% in profit. And all you did was bring in two people that came in at the same level you did. The third person you bring in, remember, that's the pass up. You keep the person, but the contribution goes to your sponsor. The same thing in the 1x3. You keep the person, but the contribution goes to your sponsor. It causes you to cycle to open up 3 more slots in the 1x3. The fourth person you bring in the upper queue, that 500 goes to you. That same person is also coming in your lower queue. You get that 500 too. The fifth person, you get paid in both parts of the program again. The sixth person, that you get that as well in the upper queue. The sixth person in the lower queue, that is the pass up. That's going to cause you to cycle to keep repeating it over and over again. So all these indications, you can actually see these in your back office, and this just repeats itself over and over again. What you need to understand here, if you're looking really carefully, most of the time, you received 100% of the contribution. Sometimes you had a pass up. Maybe you didn't receive anything. Other times you receive 50% of the contribution. But you have to understand, most of the time, you're getting 100% of the contribution. And this happens not only at the $1,000 level, it can happen at every single level, and it could happen simultaneously. All right, so we're talking about life-changing revenue to help you accomplish your goals and live out your dreams. Now, with the incredible Qtrex Mega Unit Level and the super aggressive 1x3 spill-up plan, you can earn income just by being forced to cycle, even with just one referral. Okay, so this is all about activity and participation. But what I like about this, it incentivizes the right activity. What is the right activity? Grow the community, participate in what we're doing, get the message out, share your success. If you're willing to do that, like I shared my success about the foreclosure, okay? Maybe to some people it may seem a little bit embarrassing, but you need to understand, when I shared that, people identified that and identified with me, and they came and they joined, and it enabled myself and my family to get all the money we need to save our house. Why? Because I was bold enough to share the real life circumstances that I was facing. And guess what? During that time, a whole lot of people were facing foreclosure, ladies and gentlemen. Yep. When you share your success and bold like that, people identify with you. And guess what? They will join you. Don't be afraid to be real with people. Okay. So now with just one referral, ladies and gentlemen, guess what? You can do something pretty phenomenal. Let me show it to you. Let's say you go out and you refer a leader. This is a call of leaders. Right now we're in our leaders launch. We're primarily bringing in leader. What is a leader? A person with influence, a person with a following, or a person who just takes action. They're driven, they're determined to succeed, and they are willing to do what it takes to succeed. Here, all you have to do is communicate. Share your success, invite people to see what we're doing, get the message out. That's all you have to do. Be consistent about it, right? So Joe goes out, Joe brings in 2 people. This is the lower queue. Joe receives 2 contributions just that fast. Joe brings in the third person, that's the pass up, and that contribution is going to go to you, and Joe actually shows up in your 1x3 again. So you received 2 contributions in your 1x3, but you only referred one person. But the key is you referred a person who is active. That's what we want in our community, active participants. Remember, that's how they built the houses. Everybody participated. Remember, this works the same way. Then Joe goes out and brings in 2 more people. Joe receives 2 more contributions. He's happy. That third contribution, that's going to pass up to you. And it's your third contribution. And guess what? It's going to actually pass up to your sponsor. So your sponsor is actually benefiting from the work that you did. All right. This is called spill up. All right. And so you can receive this spill up. It's different from spill over. Spill over, ladies and gentlemen, is somebody else doing the work and you're receiving the benefit. Okay. A lot of people like that, but you need to understand spill up is better because it incentivizes the right activity. Spill over incentivizes people to do nothing. Okay. You have to understand that. Spill over incentivizes people to do nothing. They just want to get in a position where they can receive money without doing anything. But what makes community wealth building work is when everybody participates. This is why Qtrex is doing so well right now. It incentivizes the right activity, which is participation. Okay, if you understand that, that's amazing. Okay, so now you have cycled. All right, and so now when Joe goes out and refers 3 more people, guess what? That third contribution is going to come to you, and guess what? Joe shows up in your 1x3 again. So I want you to imagine you're growing a community of active people, and this can happen for you on every single level, potentially at the same time, with every single leader that you bring in the community. All right. So if you can wrap your mind and do some math really quick in your head, you can see that this is life-changing here. All right. So now you can earn from each level in the upper queue. Why? Because you're already qualified. Remember, you came in at the lowest level, $50 and $33, but you're determined, you're getting the message out, and guess what can happen to you? Let's take a look at it. This system automatically places 50% in the upper queues, unit level, when your personal referral upgrades, even if you are not upgraded. All right, I've never seen a program quite like this. You go out and you refer Joe. Joe comes in at the $50 level. Remember, half of the contribution goes into the upper queue, the other half goes into the lower queue. On the left, you can see a diagram of the package amounts. All right, $50, $75, $125, $250, etc. So you're going to be receiving half of that on each level. So on this level, you receive $25. That's great. Okay, but then you go out and you refer Sharon. Okay, but Sharon, she's excited and she starts a little higher. She starts with the Q4 level, which is 250. All right, in order for her to get there, she had to upgrade. She had to contribute at Q1, Q2, Q3, and Q4. Well, guess what? You're already qualified for that in the upper queue. So what does that mean? You're going to receive $25, $37.50, $62.50, and $125. Why? Because you were bold enough to share your success, to get the message out, ladies and gentlemen, and you got rewarded for it in a big way because you started with only $50 and a $33 admin fee. But you're determined, you've got a goal, you want to help others, you went out there and you got rewarded. So now, guess what? You go out and you refer Bobby. Bobby gets on the call. You do a 3-way with Bobby, with your sponsor. Bobby says, you know what? I like this, man. I'm going to do this. And Bobby comes in at Q5, but you just came in at $50. Well, guess what? That Bobby has to upgrade through all those levels. Q1, Q2, all of them, right? And so guess what? You receive all that contribution, $25, $37.50, $62.50, $125, and $250. Because you were bold enough. You weren't afraid about what other people said. You didn't listen to that foolishness about a Ponzi and about a pyramid. You know that was all wrong, okay? And you go ahead and did what you had to do. The people came, they joined, they liked it. Guess what? You received the contributions for your family. So now, man, you're excited. Things are working. You see, this is for real. You go out and you refer Mary. Mary says, I'm coming in with $1,000. In the upper queue, you're already qualified, even though you just came in with $83. So you go ahead and Mary has to upgrade through all the levels. You're going to get to $25, to $37.50, to $62.50, to $125, to $250, to $375, and the $500. Now the pass ups, they still apply. All right. So I can't tell you when the pass ups are going to participate in these things in this sequence here. That would be too complicated to explain. But other than the pass up, guess what? That contribution is coming to you. All right. We also know that most of the time, 2/3 of the time, you get 100% of the money. All right. So this is life changing. We can have someone who lives in East Africa who scrambles up $83, but they're determined to do something for their family, to make a better way for themselves. They get on the internet, they begin to share text message, email, Facebook, YouTube channel, all right, YouTube videos, and they change their lives, ladies and gentlemen. That's what this is about. Now let's go further. Now remember, in the lower queue, you must be qualified, you must be upgraded, you must have contributed at those higher levels in order to receive at those higher levels. Okay, so now here's the thing. You want to receive 50% of the contribution, or do you want to receive 100% of the contribution? Okay, that's your choice. Now, you can receive 50% of the contribution without upgrading, all right? But if you want to receive 100% of the contribution, you need to upgrade to the higher levels in the lower queue. You decide, okay? So now, to do that, you must work your way up. You have to contribute at Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, Q5, all right? All of them, all right? So now, when you first get started, even though it's not required, it's highly recommended. When you first get started, if you're a leader and you've got some tremendous goals, you know, when I was facing that foreclosure, I needed a lot of money, guys. All right. It wouldn't have worked for me to come in at the lowest level with the kind of money I needed. I needed to come in, I needed to upgrade as far as I possibly could, begin to share the program so I could receive as much as I could. I don't know what your situation is. I don't know how much you need, all right, or what your goals are, ladies and gentlemen. But if you got some big goals, when you come in here, you want to upgrade as far as you possibly can getting started. Why? Because when people join you, they are going to ask you, what level did you start with? They want to duplicate your success. They're new here. They want to duplicate your success. They're looking to see what you did. They're going to do exactly what you did. You're going to receive greater contributions, and so are they. But now, because of the success we've had since we started, it's been a little more than 4 weeks. We're going into our 5th week now. Because of the success we had, we've got major leaders that are coming in. They're upgrading as high as they possibly can, perhaps to all the levels, to ensure that they are covered and not miss any excited new partners joining or any potential spill up from the team as the team grows. Okay, so this is a business decision that you need to make right here. Do you want to receive 50% of the money, or do you want to receive 100%? I can't speak for you, but I want 100% of the money. So you're going to want to upgrade over here. So we're going to say that you upgraded all the way to Q7. So you contributed at all those levels coming right out the gate. Okay, then you go out and you begin to share with people. So let's see what happens. So let's say you go and you share with Joe. Joe comes in at the $50 level. We're talking about the lower queue right now. You're going to receive $25. Okay, awesome. But you also got the 25 in the upper queue, right? Because you're qualified in both, by the way, in this example. Okay, so Joe goes out and Joe refers Sharon. All right, Sharon comes in at Q2, but Joe is not qualified at Q2. So Joe is going to get the $25 because he's qualified there. But guess what? The $37.50, that goes to you. It passes up to you. All right. So now let's say Sharon goes out and refers Bobby. Bobby comes in at Q3, but Sharon's not qualified for Q3. She's only qualified for the first 2 levels. So she's going to get the 25, the 37.50, but the 62.50, that passes up to you because you're qualified all the way up to Q7. Then Bobby goes out and refers Mary. Mary gets it right out of the gate. She comes in and upgrades all the way to the $1,000 level. Well, Bobby's only qualified to Q3. So Bobby's going to get the 25, the 37.50, and the 62.50. But guess what? You get the 125, the 250, the 375, and the $500. Isn't that amazing? All right. So you have to ask yourself, do you want 50% or do you want 100%? You only have to upgrade one time. You can do it out of proceeds, and it puts you in a position to absolutely change your life. All right. So everyone should know how you get started. You know you need to open up a Bitcoin wallet, all right, so that you can receive your contributions. All the payments are instant, right? But here's the thing. It's important the type of Bitcoin wallet that you choose. You want a wallet that cannot be shut down. So you're not going to use Cash App. All right, I blew up my Cash App account already this year. I had so much money coming in, they couldn't understand it. They shut my account down. All right, you don't want a wallet where they can shut your account down. All right, blockchain.com, you don't have to worry about that. And Coinami, you don't have to worry about that. And so whatever wallet you're using, you want to make sure there's not a possibility of them shutting it down, because you only have one chance to put your wallet address in the system, and it can't be changed. So you need to take your time and choose the correct wallet. These are the best ones, all right? Okay, Next, when you're opening up that wallet, you have to provide your email and a password. You might have to do an email of verification, and they may also provide you with some secret words. In case your computer goes down, you'll still have access to get into that account. Now, when you set up this wallet, you are literally becoming the bank, ladies and gentlemen. When you become the bank, there's responsibility with that. You want to control your own funds and have complete control over your funds? Well, you have to be responsible. You have to be responsible to know that email that you put in there, to know that password, and to know those secret words, and to put them in a safe place. All right, that's your responsibility, because if something should happen and you don't know that password, there's no password reset. All right, you can't go in and change your email. All right, and if you lose those words, you can't get your money. Same thing with our back office. You only got one chance to put your wallet address in there. You got to do it right the first time. So take your time and do it right. All right, that's a responsibility that comes along with that if you want to change your life financially. The other thing, of course, you want to communicate with your team, and you want to be consistent, because this is team building here. Okay, so once you have done that, the next step is to buy the Bitcoin, because this is Bitcoin in, Bitcoin out. All right, there's a ton of places you can do it. You can buy Bitcoin through Cash App. Of course, there's numerous exchanges and websites out there like Coinbase, Crypto.com, CoinMama. There's all kinds of places where you can go to buy Bitcoin. You can buy from a Bitcoin ATM machine. And now, of course, you can buy Bitcoin at CVS drugstore with the Liberty X app. We also have a video that walks people through the sign-up process. It's only 10 minutes. Take the time to watch it before you actually register. GetStartedTraining.com. Make life a lot easier for you. And then you can also purchase Bitcoin right through the website. New York is prohibited because of New York laws, but most other states you can pay and buy your Bitcoin right through the website with a debit card or with Apple Pay. All right. So that concludes the training for the compensation model. Let's see if we have any questions concerning the compensation model. All right. And then if you have a question as well, you can also raise your hand and we'll give you an opportunity to comment. All right, so now some of these comments, I see one comment is like very long, okay? But give me a moment here and I'll see if I can go through some of this. All right, so someone says, can I position my teenager? Do you have to be 18 or 21? Okay, well, you know, a teenager can do anything with parental permission, but you have to understand what we're doing here. Okay, we're building a community. You want people who are going to participate. All right, so you have to ask yourself, is your teenager going to participate? And if the answer is yes, yeah, fine. But if they're not going to participate, well, it really doesn't do any good. All right, so that's the key. Is your teenager mature enough to participate in the growing of their community? All right, next. So I'm reading a comment here. Okay, great. Okay, so we'll have a conversation. Diane, thank you so much for your comment. Appreciate it. Not sure what the benefits are in cycling. You are re-entered where? Cycling simply means you have the opportunity to receive a contribution again. And so in the 1x3, you have 3 opportunities to receive a contribution. So you have, and the third contribution, we know that's going to pass up to your sponsor. So once that has completed, it repeats again. So now you have 3 more opportunities to receive a contribution. That's what cycling means. Hopefully you understand that. The third contribution goes up to your sponsor, not the person. The third contribution in the 1x3. In the unit level, the 3rd and the 10th go up to your sponsor. Okay? But you always keep the sponsorship. Very good. Okay? Do you have a script for newbies once they are inactive people signed up? Okay, combat man. I'm not really sure what you mean by that. So we don't have any scripts. You can kind of learn the language by getting on the calls, but of course we do these webinars 6 days a week. in English and in Spanish. You can invite people here. You can say simple things such as, listen, I found a way to get the funding I need to accomplish my goals. The great thing is not a grant, it's not a loan, and I don't even need to pay the money back. Man, you need to see this. Can you jump on a call today? All right. So think things like that. And I'll repeat it for you. Listen, I found a way to get the funding I need to take care of, put that new roof on my house, to get my auto repairs taken care of. Are you with me? To pay off some of these bills. The great thing, it's not a grant, it's not a loan, and there's no repayment required. Man, you need to see this. Can you get on a call today? All right. Just simple, just communication. With the $33 fee for every month, some people cannot afford that. Okay, well, let's put it in perspective, Princess. So the $33 a month is $1.10 a day. All right, that's the cost of doing business. What other kind of business can you do where it only costs you $1.10 a day? All right, and so you have to keep it in perspective. And if the person goes to work, they can earn that, and it doesn't become an obstacle at all. And so in any business, there's a cost. Here, it's only $1.10 a day. Okay, very good. Let's go to the next question. In order to receive in the upper queue, the lower must come in the 1,000. Okay, let's see if I can understand that. In order to receive in the upper queue, all right, so everybody's qualified in the upper queue. We know half the contribution is going to be paid out in the upper queue, so we don't have to worry about the upper queue. But in order to receive the other 50% in the lower queue, you must have upgraded in the lower queue. And you cannot skip. You have to work your way up from the 50 on up to the level that you want to be at. Hopefully that answers your question, Carrie. Okay, we're going down here. Will this webinar training from today be available? Yes, the training is available. The training will be in the Telegram group. Okay, and while we're talking about the Telegram group, ladies and gentlemen, the Telegram group is not for prospects. The Telegram group is not for promoting other programs. All right, so unfortunately, we've had to put several people out because they promoted other things. That's not what that's for. The Telegram group is for paid members of our community who want to learn. All right, that's where we keep people informed. That's where we post the webinars and things like that. So to find out how to get to the Telegram group, just reach out to your sponsor and they will provide you with the link in order to get there. Is there any reason a person would get paid only 50% even though they are qualified in both the upper and the lower queue? Is there any reason a person would get paid only 50%? Oh yeah, the pass-ups. The pass-up. So when you look in your back office, you can see whether it was a pass-up. So you could be qualified in the upper and lower queue and might not receive anything, because if it's the third person in the upper queue and the third person in the lower queue, both those pass up. So that's why. And so on one in the upper queue, you might receive the 50%, but in the lower queue, it might be a pass-up. So therefore, you only get 50%, even though you are totally qualified for the 100%. Okay? So you just have to look at this sequence. All right, so that's how that works. Very good, very good. Okay, let's see if we have a question with the hand raised. And if you have your hand raised, I did answer most of your questions, Combat Man, but if you have an additional question, we just ask that you state your name before you ask your question, okay? All right. Okay, so I think he's good. He's good, he took his hand down, okay? All right, any other questions concerning today's training, ladies and gentlemen? Any other questions concerning today's training? Okay, Earl, you're unmuted. You had a question?
Well, actually, it's not a question. I just want to remind everybody that you can upgrade from earnings as you come in. And for other people who want to go ahead and take advantage of the 100%, you can just come in and upgrade to the highest level that you can afford. You know, it's truly amazing. And Mark mentioned a few minutes ago about making sure you use a good wallet. You know, you heard me talk about a few minutes ago that 1/3 of all Bitcoin is lost. That's because people forgot their keys. Make sure you write down your keys, right? So you can get access to your Bitcoin. So don't be afraid to upgrade to higher levels, get the higher commissions. You can do that. You can do it out of your pocket immediately, or you can do it from earnings. Thank you, Mark.
All right, thank you. I appreciate that. All right, let's see. I think I see another hand here. Let's see. Okay. All right, let's go back to another question here. Fantastic training today. Thank you for your time and all the great information. You are welcome. Are you losing your people if they go past you? No, you never lose your people. You lose that contribution. So what you want to do, princess, is get caught up with them, so you don't miss any additional contributions moving forward. What if it's not a pass up like the fourth member? So, coach, you really want to have someone perhaps take a look at your back office so they can kind of help you track that down if you have some confusion about that. All right, so I can't answer that without actually looking in your back office. So that's what I would recommend that you do. Okay. You're welcome. You're welcome, coach. Excellent. So any other questions or comments before we close out for today? Now, I will tell you, if you have heard Brian do a presentation, he's going to be doing the presentation on Sunday. All right, so he's a professional speaker, ladies and gentlemen. He's on a whole another level, and he's going to be doing the presentation on Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You absolutely want to get your prospects and your team members on that call. It's going to be awesome. All right, so you can be prepared for that. So he is sort of like a ringer. So we knew what he was going to do, and we had him, in our back pocket, so to speak. But he will be presenting on Sunday at 9 p.m. You absolutely want to get your people on that call. Regarding the $30 monthly fee, it is basically to keep the site running or paying the programmers. Absolutely. The developers, they paid a lot of money to put this together, and so they should be compensated. So that's what it's for. The thing you need to understand, oh, by the way, I need to mention this, and I thank you for answering that question. One of the unique features of our system, ladies and gentlemen, is that the developers are not in the community. They don't benefit from the community. They actually think that that's unethical. A lot of smart contracts, the developers are in the community, and they benefit tremendously as a result of that. Not here. This is one of the reasons why it's the $33 monthly fee, to compensate them for all their time and their investment, which is only fair, right? But here's the thing I want you to understand. We have a built-in rotator company-wide, ladies and gentlemen. When someone goes to the website and registers without a link, that registration actually goes through a rotator and is actually given to one of our members, ladies and gentlemen. So you may not have known that. This is, the level of integrity that Qtrex has is phenomenal. It's phenomenal, and that's one of those things. What is the best product to use outside of social media to get folks? Well, I've heard someone say a long time ago that to be successful, you have to do a lot of things right. And, I have to tell you, of course, we have a marketing system, but I have to tell you, the success that I've had, I've done it actually organically. So when I say organically, what I mean is text messages, emails, social media posts, YouTube videos, calling people on the phone, talking to people one-on-one. That's organically. When I say organic, is free. All right. So you can have a tremendous amount of success here free. Just organic communication with people, ladies and gentlemen. You can do that, but you can take it to the next level when you use technology. You can take it to the next level. So we'll have more training about, next level technology to help everybody. But you need to understand, you can do it right now, even if you didn't have any technology, even if you didn't even have a capture page. All right. The old school way still works. And that's just direct communication. Let me repeat those again. Email, text messages, social media posts, YouTube videos, talk to people one-on-one, talk to people on the phone, talk to people in person. You can have tremendous success if you can do those things right there. Okay? So I think that is all we have for our training today. I'd like to thank all of you for taking time out to join us. We're very excited. Again, we'd like to congratulate all the people that won all that free Bitcoin last week. Y'all did an awesome job. I know there's going to be more contests coming up in the future, so stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. Let's lock arms. Let's do something amazing. I want to share this with you. The power is in the crowd. We have the ability to build wealth. All we need to do is come together in partnership with one another. And you need to understand this. There is nothing that we cannot accomplish together. Thank you for joining us. Everyone have an awesome day. We'll see you on the call Sunday night. Let's pack it out. Brian's going to be presented. Get as many of your team members and many guests as possible on that call, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you so much for your time. Everyone have a great day. Goodbye for now.